Lesson 4.1, Circles. What is the standard form of the equation of a circle, and what can you tell, and what does the standard form tell you about the circle? The standard form of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. K is the center of the circle, and R is the radius. So it tells you the center and the radius of a circle. Deriving the standard form equation of a circle. Recall that a circle is a set of points in a plane that are a fixed distance, called the radius, from a given point, called the center. The coordinate plane shows a circle with a center HK and radius R. PXY is an arbitrary point on the circle, but is not directly above or below or to the right of C. So this point PXY right here left to right. This point A here, AXK, is a point with the same x coordinate as P and the same y coordinate as C. Explain why triangle CAP is a right triangle. Since point A has the same x coordinate as point P, segment PA is a vertical segment. This is a vertical segment, PA. PA is a vertical segment. Since point A has the same y coordinate as point C, segment CA is a horizontal segment. And it's talking about, if you'll notice, since these have the same, those are the same, that is a horizontal segment. And since those are the same, that is a vertical segment. This means that segments PA and CA are perpendicular. Which means that angle CAP is a right angle and triangle CAP is a right triangle. All right, good. Identify the lengths of the sides of CAP. Remember that point P is arbitrary, so you cannot rely upon the diagram to know whether the x-coordinate of P is greater than or less than h, or whether the y-coordinate of P is greater than or less than k. So you must use absolute value for the lengths of the legs of triangle CAP. Also, remember that the length of the hypotenuse triangle CAP is just the radius of the circle. The length of segment AC is x minus h. And we'll do that. Let's see, x minus h. And the length of segment AP is y minus k. The length of segment P is r. Apply the Pythagorean Theorem to triangle CAP to obtain an equation of the circle. So that's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Why is an absolute value used in the equation of the circle? Well, since squaring removes any negative signs, just as absolute value does, there's no need to take absolute value before squaring. Why does the equation of the circle also apply to the cases in which P has the same x-coordinate as C or y has the same coordinate as C, so that triangle CAP doesn't exist? Well, if P has the same x-coordinate as C, then P's y-coordinate must be either k plus r or k minus r. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals, and that would be h minus h squared plus k, and that would be plus or minus r minus k squared, and that would equal, well, h minus h squared would be 0 squared plus, and then k minus k, so that would just leave plus or minus r squared, which equals r squared. And the equation of the circle is still satisfied. Similarly, I misspelled that. Let's try that again. Similarly, if P has the same y coordinate as C, the P's x coordinate must be either h plus r or h minus r. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared would equal h plus or minus r minus h squared plus, and then that would be k minus k squared, which would equal plus or minus r squared plus 0 squared, which would still equal r squared. And the equation of the circle is still satisfied. Explain 1. Writing the equation of a circle. The standard form equation of a circle with center C at hk and radius r is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. If you solve this equation for r, you obtain the equation r equals the square root of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, which gives you a means for finding the radius of a circle when the center is at point P at xy on the circle are known. Write the equation of the circle. I'll let you do A, and then when you get back, we'll do B together. B. The circle with center C, -4, -3, and containing a point P at 2, 5. Find the radius. Okay, so what do we have? We have 2 minus -4 squared plus 5 minus -3 squared. Well, 2 plus 4 is 6. 6. And 5 plus 3 is 8. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. Add those together and you get 100. And the square root of 100 is 10. So write the equation in the circle. X minus -4 plus y minus -3 equals 10 squared. So that's x plus 4 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 100. Moving on. Write the equation of the circle. This is your turn. You might stop the video and try it, see how well you do, and then start it back up and follow along with me. You got x minus, remember this is the h, and this is the k, and that is, well, that says that's the r. So you got x minus, let's do it like this. You got x minus 1, and that's going to be squared, plus, and then you got y minus, and in here you got -4, and that's squared, equals, and you got 2 squared. So that gives you x minus 1 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 4. Good job. The circle with the center C at -2, 5 and containing the point P at -2, -1. Because point C and P have the same x coordinate, the radius of the circle is just the absolute value of the difference of their y coordinates. So let's see here, R equals, and that would be 5, because since the x coordinates are both -2, 5 minus -1, which is the absolute value of 6, which is 6. All right, let's try that. Let's try that in the Pythagorean Theorem. So we got the square root, and I'll do it right here. And you're going to have, remember it's x minus h squared plus, and then y minus k squared. So for the h, we're going to put in -2. For the h, or for the x, we put in -2. For the h, we're going to put in, and that's -2 as well. So that's going to minus -2. All right. And then for the y, we're going to put in -1. So let's put in -1 there. -1, -1. And for the k, we're going to put in 5. So let's put in 5. All right. And let's just do the arithmetic now. So this is going to be R equals. So R equals, and then square root, and then -2 minus -4 squared. So that's going to be -2 plus 4. That's just going to give you 2 squared plus 2 squared. And then -1, that's going to give you 6 squared plus 6 squared plus, that's negative. Oh, no, that was the y, right? And that's supposed to be -1 minus 5. That gives you 6 squared. So R equals, and then 2 squared would be 4. And plus 36, that's not working out right. So R equals the square root of 40. Okay, so R equals the square root of 40. Negative 2. Oh, that's because I put -4 in here. -2 minus -2. So that's going to give you 0 squared. So that's going to give you 36. 0 plus 36, which is the square root of 36, which is R equals 6. So you got to make sure you get the right points. So either way, it works out. in case you didn't happen to recognize that. So now we're going to have our equation is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals, and then r squared. Well, for h, we got negative 2. For k, we have 5. And for r, we're going to have 6 squared. So this will be written x plus 2 squared plus, and that y minus 5 squared equals 36. And there we go. Explain 2. Rewriting an equation of a circle. Expanding the standard form equation x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared results in a general second degree equation in two variables having the form x squared plus y squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. In order to graph such an equation, or an even more general equation in the form ax squared plus ay squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0, you must complete the square on both x and y to put the equation in standard form and identify the circle's center and radius. Graph the circle after writing the equation in standard form. So I'll let you go through A there, and let's see here. When you get back, we'll do B together. Okay? So here we have on B, 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 8x minus 16y plus 11 equals 0. So we write the equation there. Factor the 4 from the x terms. So really they group if you'll notice, they group the x terms together. They group the x terms together. And they grouped the y terms together. And they factored out a 4. So you have 4x squared plus 2x plus, and that's going to be that b over 2 squared, plus 4 times, and that's going to be y squared minus 4y plus, and then again, that b over 2 squared thing. So they subtracted 11 on both sides. They got negative 11 and 4 times whatever that b over 2 squared is, and 4 times whatever that b over 2 squared is. So let's take a look at it. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. Let's do x's in blue. 1. And then here, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So they're going to put those over here. All right, good. So they're going to factor it now, and that's going to be 2 divided by 2 is 1, so you're going to x plus 1, and here you're going to have negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, so you're going to have negative 2 there, and then over here, negative 11 plus 4 plus 16, and that's going to give you 9. All right, now they're going to divide everything by 4. They're going to divide that by 4, that by 4, and that by 4. And they're going to get x plus 1 plus y minus 2 equals 9/4. Okay? So the center is going to be negative 1, 2, and the radius is going to be the square root of 9/4, which is 3/2. And now let's see, let's graph the circle. Not enough room. Let's graph the circle. All right. What was the center? The center was negative 1, 2, right? 2. And then the radius was 3/2, so that's going to be 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. And I'm going to do my best to draw a circle here. So let's see, let's start right here. And there we go. All right, there we go. Good deal. Got a couple extra ones in there. That's all right. Graph the circle after writing the equation in standard form. All right. So I think first what we need to do is we need to identify the x's. So we got x squared here and 4x there. So we're going to write this as x squared plus 4x. And then let's identify the y's. Plus, and then we got y squared and 6y. So that's going to give us y squared plus 6y. And we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, and that's going to be equals -4. All right, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So we're going to add 4 there. We're going to add 4 there. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So we're going to add 9 there and add 9 there. All right, so what do we got here? We're going to have x, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that's x plus 2 squared. And here we're going to have y, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it's going to be plus 3 squared. And these two will cancel out, and we are left with 9. Good deal. So the center, let's do this in black so we don't get confused here. The center is at -2, -3. All right, and the radius is the square root of 9, which is 3. So let's find -2, -3 is right there, and our radius is 3. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, I will attempt to draw a circle. And let's see here. And see how close I get to it. Not too bad. Not too bad that time. Getting better already. All right, let's take a look at number 6 here. Number 6. We have 9x squared. Again, I just want to first identify the x's. So I'm going to have, let's see, 9x squared minus 54x. And then let's identify the y's. And then I'm going to have 9y squared minus 72y. So I got 9y squared minus 72y. And that's going to equal, and I'm going to subtract -209. So it's going to be -209. All right. Now, I got an a in here that's larger than 1 on both of them. So I'm going to take the 9 out. That's going to give me x squared minus 54 divided by 9. I'm getting 6. So I got 6x. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Divide that 9 out. And that's going to give me y squared minus 8y. And that's going to equal -209. And then plus, and then I got this 9 here, 9 times whatever that is, and then plus 9 times whatever that is. All right, let's see what that is. 6 divided by 2, or -6 divided by 2 is -3. -3 squared is plus 9. So I got 9 times 9. Here, I got -8 divided by 2, that's -4. -4 squared is 16. So, and 16. Well, that looks terrible. 16. So that's 9. That's a 9. And I'm making that look bad. 9. There we go. All right. Now we got all that done. So we've got 9, and then x, negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So minus 3 squared plus, and then 9. And y, negative 8 divided by 2 is minus 4 squared. And that's going to equal, well, let's see here, negative 209 plus 81 plus 144. That's going to leave me with 16 left. Okay, so now I want to divide this by 9, and I want to divide that by 9, which means I got to divide this by 9. And I'm going to end up with x minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 16 over 9. So my center, let's do that in black. My center is going to be 3, 4. So let's find 3 4s right there. And my radius, r, is going to be the square root of 16 over 9, which is 4/3. So let's do 1 1/3. 1 1/3. Maybe right there, 1 1/3. Let's do that circle one more time. See if I can. There we go. Got it. Nailed it. There we go. All right. Explain 3, solving a real world problem involving circles. A circle in a coordinate plane divides the plane into 2 regions. Points inside the circle and points outside the circle. Actually 3. There's points on the circle, points inside, and points outside. Points inside the circle satisfy the inequality x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is less than r squared, while points outside the circle satisfy the inequality x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is greater than r squared. Write an inequality representing the given situation, and draw a circle to solve the problem. So I'll let you go through 8, and then when you get back, we'll go through B together. All right. In order for a student to ride the bus to school, the student must live more than 2 miles from the school. Which of the 5 friends are eligible to ride the bus? All right, write the equation of the circle with the center, and what was the center? The center was, well, let's see, where is the circle at? Where is it at? Where's the center at? There's the school right there. What is that? Let's do it like that. Here's the school is right there. What is that? What is that point there? That's 1, -2. So the center is at 1, -2. And it's at 2 miles with a radius 2. Okay. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. All right. So x minus 1, and then y minus -2 equals r, which is 2 squared. So we're going to have x minus 1, y plus 2 equals 4. The inequality x minus 1 and then y plus 2 is greater than 4 represents the situation. So let's see if we can't draw that real quick. And I don't want to do it in black. Let's do it in red. Let's do it in yellow. Let's do it yellow. Can you see that very well? That looks kind of hard to see. Let's try it in green. I don't want to do that because green is a filled in color there. But we could. Oh, how did I do that? Oh, let's see here. Let's go over here and we'll hit color green. How about basic colors? That's gray. We don't want gray either. Cancel. So let's do this one here. There we go. Let's try that one in red. All right, that was better. I don't know how I hit that other one, but anyway. All right. So there we go. Use the coordinate grid in part A to graph the circle. We did. The points outside the circle, satisfy the inequality. So Alonzo, Barbara, and Constance are eligible to ride the bus. And then we can go look at it. Anyhow. All right. For part B, how do you know that the point E isn't outside the circle? The coordinates of point E of point E are 1, -4. Substituting 1 for x and -4 for y in let's see, so 1 minus 1 squared plus, and then that's going to be -4 plus 2 squared gives 0 squared plus -2 squared, which is 4. So the coordinates of E satisfy the equation of the circle which means E is on the circle and not outside it. All right. Sasha delivers newspapers to subscribers that live within a 4-block radius of her house. Sasha's house is located at point 0, -1. So there's Sasha. Let's do that in some bright color we can see. Sasha's right there. All right. Points A, B, C, D, and E represent the houses of some of the subscribers to the newspaper. To which houses does Sasha deliver papers? So let's see here. Let's do it up. this right here represents Sasha's house. So you got x minus 0 squared plus y minus -1 or +1 squared equals 4 squared. All right, so that's going to give us x, well, let's see here. That's going to give us x squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 16. The inequality, so we got the inequality x squared plus y plus 1 squared is less than 16 represents the situation. The situation. All right. The points inside the circle satisfy the inequality. So let's see here. Let's draw. And we got 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there it is right there. And let's draw our circle. And there we go. So B, D, and E. Let's see. B, D, and E. B, D, and E are located inside the circle. So Sasha will deliver to those. A and C are outside, and she won't deliver to those. Describe the process for deriving the equation of a circle given the coordinates of its center and radius. All right. Well, first we need to choose an arbitrary point P on the circle. So first, choose an arbitrary point on the circle. Arbitrary, and we'll just call that point P on the circle. Next, find a third point. Find a third point, and we'll just call it A. Kind of matches what we did at the beginning. That forms a right triangle. That forms a right triangle. With points C and P. Then use the coordinates of the 3 points to find the lengths. Lengths of segments CA and PA. And then note the length of the segment CP is the circle's radius. Finally, use the Pythagorean Theorem to write an equation of the circle. All right. What must you do with the equation ax squared plus ay squared plus cx plus dy plus e in order to graph it? Well, you need to complete the square on the x and y to write the equation. The equation in standard form. From the standard form equation, you can then identify the circle's center and radius, which you can use to graph the circle. So the standard form is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. All right. What do the inequalities x minus h squared plus y minus k squared and x minus h squared plus y minus k squared greater than r squared represent? They represent, well, let's see. This represents the points inside the school, or represents the points inside the circle. I said school a minute ago, didn't I? And this right here represents the points outside the circle. Represents the points outside the circle. All right, essential question, check in. What information must you know or determine in order to write the equation of a circle in standard form? Well, first you must know the center, and its radius. Well, I don't think that goes like that. Its radius. You must know the center and the radius to write an equation of the circle in standard form. If only the center and a point on the circle are known, you can determine the radius from these 2 points. So you must know the center and its radius. Good job, folks. I will see you in class tomorrow, and have a great evening.